If you're a business-funded person, your research on meteorology, on the health effects of a chemical, or on the stability of a structure, if that's been funded by the business world, that report will have to be somehow labeled with a scarlet dollar sign, one assumes. That in effect, money contaminates any position that one has. And therefore, one has to drive money out of the temple. But of course, if you drive economic interest out of the policy debates, one is left only with ideological voices. And if history tells us anything, it's that the most horrific capitalist businessman one can imagine has done relatively small damage compared to the ideologues of history, the dictators that dominated the last century: Hitler, Stalin, Mao Zedong, Pol Pot. These people certainly didn't do it for the money, but their ideological utopian, dystopian views created great horror for mankind. So, the great tragedy that Schumpeter pointed out is that he wrote an essay in 1942, Can Capitalism Survive? And his answer was probably not. Why? Because he saw the intellectual community essentially only being disparaging of capitalism. Um, if we're so smart and good, why are they making so much money? Why are they so rich? There'd be envy there. The envy would lead to the intellectual class, the creators of the narratives that link the broader world to our own world, to be anti-capitalist, to be anti-business, to be disparaging of the business voice in the policy debate. And over a century of those disparaging narratives, people have in some ways come to believe that there's something inherently wrong with business speaking out about what its views are on an issue. That's wrong, that's immoral. Nothing is more important that we have the balanced debate between the wealth creators and the intellectual defenders and attackers of those wealth creation processes. Well, look at even Bill Gates. He thinks he's doing more good with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation than he did with creating Microsoft. I mean, it's so, he couldn't, if he gave every penny he ever made as an individual away, it would be, I mean, it's not that it's a bad thing, but it would be trivial compared to the linkage of all of the people in the world together in a way that allows people in the darkest part of Africa to have access to more knowledge than an individual did 100 years ago in Oxford University. Um, it, it unleashes the human potential in a way that was totally impossible to do, and yet it has received very little praise. Schumpeter said capitalism was not necessary to allow kings and queens to have silk stockings. They had them already. Capitalism allowed the shop girls of England to shop for them. It takes the privileges of the elites and democratizes them. And that democratizing value, that fairness value of capitalism, needs to be extolled, needs to be explained more and more. And that's one of the critical things that business could do. The bottom line of a corporation in a world that's half political is not only how much soap you sell, but it's how much regulation and taxes and government interference you face in producing that soap. Government is your silent partner as a businessman today. You should try to ensure and not allow yourself to be silenced in the effort to ensure that the government understands the positive contributions you make and does not drive you out of the marketplace.